back pain, stiffness, stress. Enter the Chirp Wheel. This funky wheel claims to fix it all. But does it really work? Stick around because we're gonna be digging into the hype, the claims, the science of this trendy little device. First, let's talk about what people think Chirp really does. If you've scrolled through TikTok or Instagram, you've probably seen people rolling out their backs like it's a one-way ticket to pain-free bliss. So the buzz is all about instant relief, that satisfying pop, and even improving posture. But is this hype or help? Now let's see what the Chirp Wheel promises. According to their marketing, it's designed to relieve tension and pressure in your back, correct posture by stretching and aligning your spine, reduce back pain by targeting tight muscles and the thoracic spine. Now I had a chance to sit down with the founder of the Chirp Wheel, and I can tell you, he's got a very holistic approach and is very interested in people learning more about his products and helping relieve some of the tension and back pain that people suffer from. Sounds amazing, right? It's like they took a foam roller and said, hey, what if we make it rounder and fancier and a little pricier? But hey, let's not judge. Let's see what the research says. Now for the serious stuff. While there aren't many studies on how the Chirp Wheel works, there is research on spinal mobility tools and foam rollers. Here's what we know. Number one, back cracking feels good, but sometimes it's just temporary. As a chiropractor, I see this all the time. People are at home swinging or cracking their backs, but the relief is temporary. Typically, they're not getting to the root cause of the problem. And this is a big issue with cracking your own back or people who are trying to roll on things and get their back to crack or push their back against some device to get it to crack. Using devices like this, or even just twisting your spine, can release gas bubbles and give you that little pop feeling in the back. It's not fixing your spine or getting to the root of the problem, but it kind of feels like it's giving you a temporary release. Remember, this is simply a stretching and mobility device. It's not intended to diagnose or cure any medical condition. Spinal mobility and stretching, which the Chirp focuses on, can improve mobility and reduce tension. Great for desk workers or anyone feeling stiff. And number three, core strength and posture. Now there's no magic fix for posture or core strength. The Chirp helps with stretching, but lasting improvements may require more strength training, exercises, or adjustments to help. So as I said, I was able to meet with the owner and talk with him for a little bit about his product. I told him that I've had lots of patients who have tried this, and some of them will swear by it. And over the years, I just assumed it was a hyped up foam roller type device. He said over the years, he's had a lot of chiropractors, healthcare providers, or yoga instructors who have enjoyed trying this device as well. So he let me take it for a spin, literally. And here's my verdict. All right, so we're gonna take this little baby for a spin. Let's see how it feels. Okay, so getting on the Chirp Wheel, ooh, I got a little release. Maybe you heard those little pops. We're gonna lean back. Oh, a little release there too. So I'm actually getting some cavitation in my joints. So what's happening is the pressure is being released from my joints as I lean back. So those joints that has a pressure buildup, that gas, that pop that you hear, that's what we call a cavitation. That's gas being released from a joint. It's a lot easier to get there. I'm engaging some core muscles. You can hear me shaking a little bit. I'm starting to engage some core muscles. So this is actually a great workout. As long as your neck is supported, you can use this not only to stretch, but why not get a little bit of core strengthening right there? A great way to support the spine so you're not hurting it when you're doing a sit-up or a V-up. Whereas the ground is gonna be low when you're doing those certain exercises. And so this again has that groove for my spine to go into so that we're not jamming up the spinous processes when we're doing this exercise. All right, so this medium-sized wheel is great for getting in between the shoulder blades and working your way down through the lower thoracics and upper lumbar. So I'm gonna show you right now. Again, because this is a smaller wheel than their big wheel, Chirp is claiming that it's going to flex less, so there's going to be more pressure. I come back through here, I can let my head relax on the wheel. That's actually pretty relaxing just to sit here. I'm doing a little bit of a bridge, which is great for core work and then just kind of stretching the upper back. When I bring my arms out to the side, you really feel the pressure through the thoracic paraspinal muscles, those muscles that run along the spine on either side of the spine. And so I can feel there's definitely some release going through there, as well as opening up the shoulder blades and taking some pressure off of the rib cage. So this is a great position that I try to get my patients to go into, and having one of these wheels around to remind you that you need to do that is great. Now, as I roll down, I'm gonna support my neck so that my neck isn't jamming back into extension. So make sure to support your neck. And if you have shoulder problems, this may be a little tricky because I'm feeling a lot of pressure through the lats now, which is a good thing for someone who doesn't have any issues. Get in there, roll out the thoracic paraspinals, keep going to the upper lumbar. And now we're gonna get to the lumbar spine, and I'm gonna need to balance myself and come into extension. Now, a lot of people with back pain may have trouble getting into that extension position, getting in and out of that position. So again, tread lightly, start slowly on these things, don't overstretch. That can lead to more pain. All right, here's the smaller chirp wheel. It's not the smallest mini one, but this one is a great one to start getting into maybe some glutes and some side muscles. So we're going to use it for IT band. So here we go with the second to the smallest wheel they sent me. This is a great one for getting into the upper part of the neck. They've shown some people using it basically just like this to flex the neck forward. I find that that can put a lot of strain on the lower cervical or the lower part of the neck, the lower disc in the neck, if you have a disc issue. So you may want to avoid this one if you got a disc issue, but you can also roll to the right, you can roll to the left and see if you can get a little bit of release. Where I see this wheel coming in handy is when you get down to the hip, the glute, the IT band, even down through the calf. And so we can get this wheel and sit on it and do some glute work all the way through the IT band, just like you would with maybe a foam roller. It is a little harder to balance than on a foam roller. So you gotta be careful with this one. But here's where I like it. We can start getting into the Achilles and calf muscles while not putting too much strain on that Achilles. So here I go. Little balance, get through the calf, and I'm getting a little workout too. This is actually a great little stretch. Maybe you want to do a little hamstring as well. Get behind the knee, get on the hamstring, go all the way up to glute, then kind of work our way up. All right, so here I'm going to show you a wall demonstration of using the yoga wheel up against the wall. This is great for exercises like wall stretches or wall angels, where you can get this wheel right behind your back. You can drop it down and then lean up against the wall, okay? And bring your arms up, and you can even bring them out and bring them out and down. So you can work through the shoulder, stretching the shoulder muscles. Another great way that I like getting into rhomboid, and this is a great product to get into the rhomboids because those rhomboid muscles go between the thoracic paraspinals and the shoulder blade. And so if you can get something to get in there, this will be great. What you do is you bring this arm out and then bring it across, and as you bring it across, roll up and down. That really opens up that area between the shoulder blade and your thoracic spine. Get into those muscles, and I can really feel the sides of this wheel getting into that muscle by bringing an arm over and opening up that area. Yeah, that's really good. Okay, so we talked a little bit about using these for the desk, and I'm going to show you the setup that I would, first of all, that I've seen them use, and then the one that I'd recommend. So as you can see, this little wheel will get in there and provide you a little lumbar support, but my upper back is now away from the top of the chair. Now this chair isn't very high, so it's hard to demonstrate that, but for most people, again, it does provide some lumbar support, which is great, but it may be a little bit exaggerated, taking the thoracic spine away from the top of the chair. So when we switch it out for this lower one, now I can get closer to the chair, and my upper back is still supported, and especially with these taller chairs, your upper back's still going to be up there with, as you can see, the chirp wheel is now providing that lumbar curve, that lumbar support without a lot of strain. And I can even sit here and kind of move up and down and get a little bit of that rolling release action through the low back, and it actually feels pretty good. It doesn't hurt. It's not jamming up anything in the lower lumbar spine. Although again, if you do have some issues in the spine, this may aggravate it. So just be careful when you're using this product. All right, so I brought the spine out so I could demonstrate a little bit better why this spinal curve is so important to the lumbar spine and to the chirp wheel. So here we've got our chirp wheel. Here's the little curve. Here's our spine. Okay, this is the hips. Feet are facing that way. This is the normal curve of the lumbar spine coming up and around. So as we put the chirp wheel in, you can see how the spinous processes go right against that inner part. And so if you've got just a simple foam roller, it's jamming in, but if you've got a little space for those little processes, you can get deeper in and closer to the muscles on both sides of the spine to be able to release those muscles, which is great. We have that same curve in the neck as well. And so when we get that little wheel out, again, if we're trying to maintain a cervical curve or improve the curve in our spine, this product can help that bridge create that natural curve and take pressure off. And right here is the base of the spine, as we were talking about, that I could really feel a lot of pressure in. Not a problem, again, if you don't have any issues, so make sure that this doesn't increase the pain. But here we go, we've got the lower spine and the upper spine, how to create the perfect curve in a spine, double chirp wheel action. I like it. I may just go try that. Okay, so I'm gonna try this out and see if it really helps. Oh, there we go. That actually feels really good right there. All right. So a lot of pressure on the nerves when we're in this position, but when we come up here to just right in the occipital region in the upper lumbar, it actually feels pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna try this out. Do not try this at home. Or if you do, don't blame me. Okay. I can feel some pressure through the back, so this would be not recommended for someone, again, with a lot of back pain, but as a stretch, very interesting. Yeah. In this position, it's actually more putting the strain through the neck. So again, I wouldn't recommend this to everyone, but it's an interesting stretch to try anyways. In some parts of the body, it does feel good. It's a great stretch and a great way to lengthen the fibers in the spine and get a good kind of release in the back, especially if you've been hunched over at the computer for long periods of time. But the effects are limited and temporary. If you're looking for a quick stretch or some spinal TLC, it's a win. If you're looking for lasting relief, you really should seek a healthcare professional who can get to the root of the problem and give you some solid advice on how you can fix it so you could be pain-free. So does the chirp wheel work? It's not a cure-all, but it's a great tool for short-term relief, and it helps keep your spine mobile. Think of it as a stepping stone, not the whole bridge. I'm Dr. Michael Pound, and I'm a chiropractor. I help people heal better fast. Have you tried the chirp wheel? If you have, let me know down in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more fun, science-backed tips on trending health gadgets.
Well, they said they were strong. By the way, I would not recommend doing this.